After the game, Jamie Carragher said Arteta would be furious with the result. We saw he didn't look happy either. His point was that if they had won last night, they could have then rested players in the Bournemouth game. That falls, of course, between the two Paris Saint-Germain ties. Do you agree?
I personally, I think that they'll have to just forget about the Bournemouth game. They'll have to forget about it. They've got a massive opportunity. They're not going to finish out the top five. They're not going to do that. They have enough games left. The next two games against Paris Saint-Germain are huge. They're absolutely huge. They've got an unbelievable opportunity to win in the Champions League, which they've never done before. So for me, I'd be more disappointed with yesterday's result on the strength of, if we want to win the Premier League, and that is really the aim, really, is to win the Premier League, is this is going to happen every season. You know, if you're a good team, you're going to go deep into competitions, into Europe, FA Cups, League Cups, hopefully. You need squad players and you need to perform week in, week out. And I think that would be my worry for Mikel Arteta. His worry would be if we're second in the league and we're 2 points behind, we can't have performances like this. And that's why you have to show so much respect to Man City, what they've done over the last few years of consistently churning out results, winning league titles, going deep in the Champions League, even winning it. So that's what would disappoint Arteta more, is next season they have to be a lot more consistent. It's drifted away in that way, but they could say they put all their eggs into this Champions League now.
What did you make of the starting lineup then from Arteta? I mean, there was no Bukayo Saka, no Ethan Nwaneri. Did this again to show that the focus is well and truly on the Champions League?
Well, yeah, I was surprised when Nwaneri never played, because he won't play in the Champions League game. I'd be shocked if he did. But yeah, I mean, Saka, rested. I thought there'd be a couple more. I just don't see the chance. As I say, these opportunities come along. They don't come along too often. Semi-final, PSG already beat them in the group stages. The teams in the other side as well. Massive opportunity. I'd have rested a few more players, if I'm being honest. I think if Saliba would have got injured yesterday, I think you could have wrote the Champions League off. They'd have had no centre-half. So for me, I thought he put out a decently strong team, considering how big this game is next Tuesday night.
Jamie Carragher aims another dig at Arsenal's set-piece coach, Nicolas Jover, as alarming stat emerges after Gunners conceded from corner against Crystal Palace. Arsenal conceded from a corner in their 2-2 draw with Crystal Palace. Jamie Carragher made a cheeky dig at Arsenal set-piece coach Nicolas Jover after revealing the Gunners have proved fallible from dead ball situations this season. Arsenal scored their 16th set-piece goal of the season in the Premier League on Wednesday night, as Jakub Kiwior put the hosts ahead with a third-minute header from a free kick at the Emirates. The Gunners, however, were pegged back when Crystal Palace's Ebereki Ease was left unmarked from a corner on the edge of the box, with the midfielder producing a superb volley to level the scoring. Arsenal were ultimately held to a point after a 2-2 draw, with a superb late leveler from Jean-Philippe Mateta cancelling out Leandro Trossard's goal just before halftime. Post-match, Carragher highlighted that Arsenal have conceded the second highest percentage of goals from corners in the top flight this season, with only Man United proving more porous. Jamie Carragher pointed out how Arsenal have struggled to defend corners this season. Ebereki Ease fired Crystal Palace level from a corner in the first half, and Carragher believes Arsenal's defending from set pieces has become a big problem. Carragher opted to have a cheeky dig at Arsenal's set-piece mastermind Jover, whose success was honored with a mural by supporters earlier this season. Terms of percentage, only Man United are worse than Arsenal set-piece-wise this season. So when we make a big deal about the set-piece coach, he's absolutely out of this world in terms of going forward, but they've got a big problem defensively. So should we be cutting his wages in half? Do they need a defensive set-piece coach? It's been one of the stories of the season, and rightly so. It's unbelievable. You feel like they are going to score a goal from a set-piece in every game, or come very close to scoring. Of course, he's had a huge impact, but it is funny that they are having huge problems themselves. Gary Neville having previously labeled him the most annoying bloke in football due to his animated presence on the touchline during set pieces. His remark came during the Overlaps watch-along of Arsenal's 2-0 win over Manchester United in December, when both of the Gunners' goals came from corners. However, Carragher defended Jover at the time, claiming he was earning every penny of his salary with his set-piece expertise. 10 players set to miss Arsenal versus Crystal Palace, and Mikel Arteta sends message to Liverpool. Mikel Arteta and Oliver Glasner have both vowed to name strong teams when Arsenal host Crystal Palace in an inconsequential Premier League meeting on Wednesday night, despite both having massive knockout semi-finals in the coming days. The Gunners are gearing up for their Champions League showdown with Paris Saint-Germain, while Palace face Aston Villa in the FA Cup on Saturday evening. But despite their pre-match claims that key men will not be rested despite neither having much to play for in the league and the risk of an unfortunate injury striking, there are still a combined 10 players ruled out through injury. The Gunners will be without long-term injured Gabriel Jesus, Takahiro Tomiyasu, Kai Havertz, and Gabriel Magalhaes, with Arteta also ruling out Ricardo Calafiori and midfielder Jorginho.